Hi, it's Len Cameraman from HeroTechnical Solutions with this week's Friday 5. This week's question comes from Richard, and Richard is in the financial services business in Arizona, and his question is it possible to have a portfolio of stocks and mutual funds and have them in your ACT program and update at a click of a button? Okay, so yes, it's definitely possible to do this. However, it's going to require some additional software, and depending on how automated you want it, you'll need either some kind of import tool or a utility written. So let me just go and I'm going to fire up a web browser, and I'll show you a couple of the pieces that you would need if you're going to build this kind of a solution. Definitely not something ACT will do out of the box, but certainly something that we could get it to do. If you want to be able to add additional information to ACT, so things besides contacts, notes, history, we call those custom tables. And my favorite ACT add-on for doing custom tables is called Topline Designer. It's from a company called Topline Results. If I go to their add-on section, I'm going to find Topline Designer here. We use this in all kinds of projects. It's fairly inexpensive. It's $99 per user. We're a reseller for it. And what it allows you to do is add additional types of records to the database. So for example, if you wanted to track for each of your contacts their portfolio, well, you need a place to track the different stocks and mutual funds that they have, the values of each. Okay, so before we even really talk about how to update that stuff, we need to have a place to put it. So we would build that kind of a table with Topline Designer. Then once we've got a home for this information, we would have to get it updated from somewhere. So we've actually done a project like this before where our client would go and they'd go to a website, and I think the website they used was from Globe, and they would pull a list of the 200 or so mutual funds that they worked with. And then we wrote a program that would read their file, and it would update all the fund prices and recalculate everyone's portfolios for them. Okay, so that's still a bit manual because they had to do the export and they had to run our program. If you wanted to get really slick though, depending on the availability of information for the specific stocks or funds you're working with, there are web services that will let us programmatically grab that. So for example, I just did a quick Google here to find a stock quote web service, and I'm trying this one out. And if I put in, let's try this quote here, and if I type in AAPL for Apple's stock, it's going to give me back some information that the computer can read and get the prices out of. So we would actually be able to write a program that would connect up, give it the stock ticker that we were looking for, grab that information, and pump it back into ACT. So something that we would have to do custom programming for, but certainly doable. I hope that answers the question. And so again, there are two parts to it. One, we need to have a place to store the information, and we would use Topline Designer for that. And then we need to either use one of the third-party import tools to bring that information in if you had it in an Excel file or in a text file, or if we wanted to get really advanced, we could do some custom programming for ACT here at Hero that would allow you to take that information, grab it from the web, and spit it right into ACT.